are in listen-only mode.
Hi guys, welcome to the webinar this week. Sorry we're a little bit late starting with a couple of problems with GoToWebinar starting it. This is Richard Fairbairn and I'm here with my good friend and business partner Paul O'Keefe. If you want to say hi, Paul.
Hi guys, I hope you can hear me. Can you just drop us a 1 into the chat box to make sure everyone can hear us fine, because I'm coming from Norway and Richard's in the UK, so we just want to make sure that everyone can hear us properly. Excellent. We've got loads of ones coming in. We've got Howie, we've got David, we've got Chuck. Hi Chuck, there's a few regular people here that we recognise the names. I've got Tom, Martin, Ron, David, Anthony, Ovi, Jean. Wow, many people. Hi Paolo, Dennis. Yep, that's cool. We've got loads of people on the call today. Excellent.
That's great. So everybody can hear us. Just let me make sure everybody can see my screen before we get going. I think you need to hand it over to me, Paul. Just 2 secs. Yeah, you're gonna need to hand it over to me.
Yep, I'm just trying to work it out. Sorry, I'm just trying to work out how to do that. I can't actually see it. Just bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, normally it's myself who starts these webinars, but I'm actually away at the moment, so Paul's having to do it. So it's kind of
it's the first time I've done that, so please bear with me because I can't.
Bit of a learning curve.
Yeah.
If you go to if you find me and just hand me screen.
I don't know where to go. Just 2 seconds. Sorry.
If you go to attendees and if you click on staff.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my machine's actually just locked up, so you just have to really bear with me a second.
Right, just see. Everybody, give me a one if you can see my screen now.
I can see it.
Right, okay. Everybody can see it, that'd be great. Now what we're going to be doing for the next few weeks is we're going to be covering a lot of Pixel. We've got a lot of Pixel buyers in here, the Pixel Evolution, the new system. So what we're going to do before we actually go into the presentation, now one thing you have to remember about these presentations, none of it is scripted. We don't work these out beforehand. Everything is live, and if you see a mistake, it's us making a mistake. So what we're going to do, first of all, is ask for any questions for anybody who is using Pixel at the moment. As I said, a lot of Pixel buyers in here. So if you can give us any questions you have before we start and go into the presentation for Pixel.
Right, well, sorry, Richie, you're going to have to bear with me 1 second because my machine's actually locked up, so I'm just trying to fix it.
All right, no problem. Right. So I can do questions while you do that. Has anybody any questions regarding Pixel? As I said, we've got lots and lots of Pixel buyers in here.
Okay, cool. I've got it working. Excellent. Sorry about that, guys. My machine was just playing up a little bit there. I've actually got it working again now. Excellent. Thank you. Right, okay, so I can see the questions. Everything's in there. Sorry about that.
Right, first we've got Howie, who's asking how to put a banner in the header. Okay, Howie, do you have the WordPress plugin that we put out as well? Now, if you have the WordPress plugin, I don't have that live as a presentation. We're going to cover the WordPress plugins and the APIs more in depth next week. But how to put a banner in the header in WordPress. All you need to do is you need to install your WordPress plugin first, add in your API key, and your API key can be found up here in the corner. You see the little WordPress icon. When you add your banner, your plugin, you'll start to pull across your banners that you have in your Pixel app. And when you've pulled across your banners that you have in your Pixel app, you'll see little shortcodes at the side. So you'll have PHP shortcodes and you'll have HTML shortcodes. All you need to do is grab the shortcode that you want to add into your header, and you need to paste that shortcode directly into your header inside your theme in WordPress. Now, it sounds a little bit complicated. It's not. As I said, next week we will cover more of the upsells. This first training webinar is more to do with the overlay of the system, overview and how it works and everything. But if you've got any more problems with it, please open a spot ticket. We'd be glad to help you do that.
Yeah, so I think what we'd like to do on this first one, because it is probably the first one that people are going to come on and have a look at Pixel. So I think what the best thing we'll do, we've got someone there, Ron's asking if you could have a user beginner's overview. So I think that's where we'll start. this week. And as we're going on, if there's something that you see that you want a little bit more elaboration on or something like that, if you just drop that question into the chat box. The way we work these webinars is that we'll look at everything as we're going along. We'll try and answer as much as we can possibly. And what we do, we log all the questions that are asked to us. So if we don't get round to any of them in the hour that we're on now, what we do is we bring the questions from the week before onto the following week's webinar. So that way we'll always keep on top of everything that everybody's looking at and what they need help with. So if Richard will just give a quick overview, I think now is probably the best bet as a starting point for everybody. And then as we're going along, if you want elaborations or anything, we'll stop Richard every 5, 10, 15 minutes and I'll just butt in and stop him talking, really, if that's okay with you, Rich.
Yeah, that's fine. Do you want to go through these questions first, or quite a few questions dropped in?
Yeah, if there's ones that we can just answer where we're talking over it, no problem at all. But other than that, I think we want to just quickly give everyone an overview after we've got through these anyway, just to let them see the app, because we've got a couple of people asking for that anyway.
Yeah, no problem. So in the webinars that we're doing, we're recording, someone's asking where they'll be. They'll be in the tutorial section. If you come to resources, you'll find all the links to these webinars there. We also have a private members area as well, which we've dropped on into, and we'll be mailing those out. So Ron's asking about the disappeared off.
Sorry?
I'm sorry, no, my questions just shut down.
Yeah, well, Ron's asking, could he use a beginner's overview? So that's going to come soon, obviously, once we get through these questions. The next one, Paolo saying you only see the Pixel screen. Yes, at the moment, that's all you'll see at the moment, Paolo. Anthony's saying, a great app, Richard. I've been testing it out. It's working great. One issue I had was with the overlays. I created a simple YouTube video overlay on a website, and it seemed to be working. However, once clicked the place where the video was overlaid, it was just a blank white space. Okay, so what we probably need something like that one, Anthony, is we probably need to actually look at the specifics of the exact what it was you were doing.
What it probably will be is when you're setting up the video, you probably didn't put autoplay on it, so you will actually see like a kind of a blank white screen with a little button in the middle. A lot of people's had this query, so you must make sure that you put autoplay on the videos or on the banners, and then it'll go directly into the autoplay of the banner or the video. That's more than likely what the problem will be. But if it's not, please open a support ticket. We'll have a look at it.
That's one thing I'd just like to say as well. If anyone does have any issues with the app, the best way is even if you use your screencast, so you can shoot a quick video and just record your screen, showing us exactly what's going on. It just does speed it up a lot for the people on the support and our support team to get the answers to what you need. Isabel's saying, would you please do a video for that, please? I think you're talking about when Richard was discussing the WordPress plugin. And if that's the case, I think what we'll do next week, Isabel, we'll go into more depth with the OTOs, and we'll actually walk you through the plugin so you can see it. And obviously it'll be recorded live on the webinar, so you'll be able to watch it back.
Yeah, and Alex has done a couple of videos that are out in the tutorials. They're basic overview videos of the WordPress plugin.
Okay, cool. Mark Matthews is saying, what kind of short code? Again, Mark, we'll go through this in depth next week, if that's okay. They are just simple short codes that you drop in on WordPress. So.
Yeah, the PHP or HTML.
Yeah. Michael's saying, will we have access to this webinar recording? Yes, Michael. Every week we record webinars. In the past, a couple have disappeared because of GoToWebinar crashing on us, but touch wood, that shouldn't happen. We're both recording. I'm recording it here in Norway, and Richard's recording it in the UK, so hopefully this one should get recorded, no problem. Mark Stewart saying, I'm a beginner here. Please don't get too advanced yet. Okay, Mark, that's what we'll do. We'll try and take it from the beginners with the app, and then as we go on, people who want more enhanced information will get that later on. Anthony saying, also what I'd like to see for overlays is to have the option to have an exit pop-up. If you've got any requests for enhancements to the app or anything that you think we need to build in to it, feel free to drop them into the support. What we do is we look at all the enhancements that people are requesting on a weekly basis, and if certain enhancements are getting more requests than others, then they obviously go to the top of the pile, and we look at building them in. Providing it's possible to do it and it's not going to cost too much money, then we do it pretty quickly. Mark is saying thanks. Okay. What's the best way to contact support? As in the resources, the links doesn't go anywhere. Well, we'll need to look at that then, Richard, because that should be working. We've had a lot of people coming to support, so I'm not sure which link you're actually referring to.
So this is the resources page. If you come to support, it does actually go directly to the talk to section. For some reason, the talk 2 is not opening. We need to look at that, but support is down here as well. It's the exact same link. So all you need to do is click here. And it'll be open directly. So it may be a different link I need to put in for talk 2. Now, just a couple of things about this support. This is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week support. So all you need to do is come in here. It's a live chat. All you need to do is put your email address in and you start your chat. Now, this is our frontline support. They don't do very, very technical questions. If you've got a lot of technical questions or a query about the app, etc., that gets passed on to our second tier support. This is just really for 24/7, so you've got somebody there to answer any questions. But we will look at the link in resources. For some reason, it's not open in this section here. So we need to look at that. Probably something to do with ClickFunnels, actually.
Yeah, okay. So thanks for that. It was working earlier, so obviously something's gone down with that. Getting through to Anthony saying, when can we PPPs promote Pixel Evolution via the PPP?
2 days.
Yeah, we said it'd be sometime this week. It's looking like 2 days at the moment. So now we've got one from Suzette. It says, are these recorded? And if so, please show me where it will be at, and if you have any others from the past, please. So, Richard, could you just show on the screen where the resources are for the webinars that have been?
Yeah, there again, they're in the resources section here. If you come right down to the bottom, you'll see lots and lots of tutorials. The webinars come right to the bottom. They are, find them, Pixel webinars. There they go.
There you go, Suzette. So you'll see them in there. So we used to add them in there every week after we've done them. Dennis is saying, put a step-by-step training at the beginning and do a Q&A at the end.
Yeah, we always do that, but we've just opened a lot of support to, a lot of questions at the moment, haven't we? So.
Yeah, well, with this one being the first one, Dennis, since the Pixel Evolution going out, we just need to sort of gauge the kind of people that are turning up on the call tonight, because this isn't kind of what we would normally do. We'd normally just go straight into answering the questions from before with the step-by-step training and then do Q&As at the end of it. But obviously when we're showing the screens, it's good to actually, if we can answer something there and then, it does help, and it kind of works quite well doing it that way. As a user, I shouldn't see the create template. It's from Paolo.
No, you see that because it's got a little red arrow there, that means it's an admin only. And because I'm a main admin, I see this. As a user, you don't actually see that create templates. So the create templates is for our graphics team. They create templates through that section.
Okay. Sean's got a good question. He says, what are the disadvantages of hosting a banner on Pixel servers versus our own server?
Well, the Pixel servers use S3 to host, so it's a very, very secure system, and it's very, very fast. And obviously, depending on what kind of hosting you're using, it could be a lot faster to host on our servers than obviously your own, depending on what hosting you're using. Obviously, with a banner, you want it as quick as possible. You want it to show as quick as possible. Visitors only have a very, very short attention span when they first land on your site, so they need to see that as quick as possible. That's the only real advantage.
Okay, excellent. Lee saying, great support. My issues seem to have been resolved, but your follow-up was outstanding. Okay, thanks for that, Lee. We are going to try and give some of the best support out there possible, because it's something that me and Richard believe in, so we're going to do our best. So anything that you think we can do to help, just let us know. We're always open for any suggestions too. Sean is saying, do you rotate your own ads in there? So that you're talking about our own server there,
yeah,
Sean?
Yeah, we use Pixel for our own banners and everything,
yeah. Ismail saying he doesn't see the create templates. Again, that's because Richard's showing you through a main admin account. Nobody will see that. There's only Richard or myself that would see that. Does Pixel have all the ad sizes set for Google Display, Facebook ads, and mobile sizes?
Yeah, they do. Everything's set inside there.
Yeah, and it's also free form as well, so you can actually manipulate them. But the actual, it does have the standard settings in there. John saying, will there be a replay? Yes, there will. That'll be in the resources area, John, every week. Jim is saying he agrees. Let's do step by step. Sorry. Thanks, Anthony. You guys have been awesome. These webinars have been very helpful. Okay, I'm just trying to go through the comments and get to the questions. Okay, so VJ saying, is Pixel white labeled? Can we customize it with our corporate logo?
No, it's not.
Not at all. Sorry about that. Right. Jim saying, we're 20 minutes in, we still haven't started our overview. Okay, let's start it now then, Jim. Just for you.
Right, okay. Okay, let's get going then. Right. Now, the way we do work these webinars, we run these every single week. And as I said, we do kind of question and answers because we do have questions that overlay from the week before. So we do try and answer those first before we go into his demos and his overview of the system. Now, what we're going to do this week is we're going to do a complete, real, basic overview. What we're going to be doing week by week is, using different sections of this app. For example, one of the questions I just saw then before we had a chance to answer was regarding the client section. We did say we are going to show you how to position this app best, pricing, the hook that you need, to bring clients into this, because this has a full client agency system already built in. So first and foremost, let's go to the graphics creator. Now, we've got two sections to the graphics creator. We've got the flat graphics, dimensional graphics, and we also have this one over here called premium. So it's kind of three sections that you can make templates in. Now, what I'm going to do in this first video is I'm going to talk about the old version of Pixel, which has been enhanced for Pixel Evolution. Now, again, you'll be seeing some people will see this and realize they haven't got all these templates here. If you're not part of the template club, you may not see all these. Now, when you come in here, you'll see all the templates, got lots of different tags, etc. But as I said, we're going to start with the editor. So the editor's here at the top. And let it load. Now, first and foremost, this is, as Paul said, this is a free-form editor as well as a set size editor. So you can come to the right-hand side here. You've got, like, for example, Facebook groups, Facebook profiles, Twitter header, Twitter profiles. You've got mobile in there, greeting cards. You've got everything you need really on set sizes, and we are adding more in there as well. And also, if you get any sizes that you want adding in there, if there's anything that you don't see, please let us know and we'll add them in as well. Now, the first thing that you need to start with is the canvas properties. Now, in the canvas properties, you'll see banner dimensions, we've just gone over now. So here is a freeform, so we can change this whatever we want. So we can make it wider. We can change the height of it. We can do whatever we want there. Now, Anthony was talking about the white box that when he did an overlay. Now, I'm pretty sure that he may not have had the overlay, the autoplay on. So the autoplay, what it does, it autoplays the banner as soon as it's loaded onto your site. Now, if you don't tick that, it'll be like a movie. So you've got to tick it to play it. Loop slides is exactly the same. Now, if you have a set number of slides, so if you only have 2 slides, if you don't click loop slides, what it'll do is when it gets to the end of the slides, it'll just stop. So if you loop slides, it'll just keep looping itself round and round and round. So those are usually the 2 that I would always make sure you keep them on. Now, background settings. Now, you've got lots of different background settings. You've got transparent. You've got solid color. You've got a gradient color, so you can do whatever you want there. Different colors. It shows you the code, etc. So you can apply that if you wanted to. So that's what it looks like. You've got background settings as well. You've also got triangles. These are the Google ones. You can see what they look like. Gives you kind of a nice effect. You need to play around with them to make them look, really good. And you've also got image. So you can add an image in there. All you need to do is upload it. You've got plenty of different settings for your background. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of that, so I've got a blank one. Now, link URL. Now, what the link URL is this is the overriding link that you put into your banner. You can still put multiple call to actions in here, but this one is the overriding link for them all. So you can open them in a parent window or a new window. Now let's just put a normal color in here. So let's have a solid color. Let's have a red color. So if you can see here, this is a visual grid. So what this does, it lets you line up images a lot easier because you've got a grid on there, so you can move them around and make them look more uniform. So that's it for the canvas properties. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these inserts here at the side. Now, these are probably the kind of most important sections on this editor. Now, the first one is the text. Now, as you can see, you can drop text in. It's pretty freeform. You can enter whatever you want here. So you can just do that. Click here to purchase. Now, you've got a background color on it, so you can take that off if you want completely. Or you can change it if you wanted it red or whatever. It's entirely up to you. Text color, again, you can change to white if you wish, whatever color you want. And all you need to do is apply it like that. Your font size, again, you can choose whatever you want. You can do it via this, or you can just drag it if you wish. So, for example, if you want to make your font bigger, you can do it like that. Background opacity, you can just get rid of it altogether, so you don't have any kind of background color in there. You can do the opacity of the text as well. Make it as you wish. You've got your bold, italic, underline, center, etc. They're all pretty standard. You've got text padding, which you can change up and down. You've got the effects. Now, what the effects do, these actually animate the text. So what you can do is you've got 3 different sections to animate. You can do it via character, via word, or via the sentence. So if you're going to choose sentence, you can decide on the animation. You can do call out, swing. You can do animation in, you can set the duration. So whatever you wish to do on there, you can do it via word. Now position properties. Now, what this does, it kind of like works like, for example, like Adobe Photoshop. You can bring things forward or send them to the back. Let's just go back. I just knocked it off.
Okay, which after you finished on this section here, we'll just go through a few questions that have come in. Just answer a few, just try and keep batting the questions.
Right, okay. So you can do, as I said, lots of different things with your text effect. You've got canvas properties. Again, we talked about the overall link URL. Now this one here, you can link individual sections of your banner. So you can have, for example, I can have a link here on my text, so I could send this to my main site. Let's call this site 1. And I could go back to canvas properties, and I could make this go to site 2. So if I clicked here, when I share the banner, this would go to site 2. But if I clicked on into the text, that would go to site 1. Let's remove this grid. So you can do lots, as I said, lots and lots of things with that. Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see. So you can do lots of things with text, and you can also animate it down here. So, for example, you've got to highlight anything that you want to animate. So, for example, if this is highlighted, come to this little, looks like a magic wand down here. So, for example, you can fade it in from the top, ease in elastic. It gives you an example of what it's going to do. Apply it. So let's preview that, see what it looks like. You can see it. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm using my computer. I'm using my trackpad. I'm not used to using it. That's me, not the system. I'll go back to where I were.
Whilst you're doing that, I'll just throw a couple of questions in, Rich.
Okay, yeah.
Answering these. Michael's saying, what is the max size you can edit and see on the screen? I mean, I don't know the answer to
that. Right, I've been asked this question a few times. I mean, people have been asking me if they can, for example, use 1,000 by 1,000. It just won't work. It's because these are really meant for like banners, ad graphics, and 1,000 by 1,000. Not only will it not make your banner really slow, but it's just going to crash the system. Probably on the outside, you're probably looking at max 600 to 700 by about 500, the max.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. With loop, sorry, this one's from Richard. He says, with loop slides off, I've seen banners play, then go white after the time rather than staying on. Is that correct?
It depends on your banner. If you go to loop slides over and over again, and it does go white afterwards, it's probably something that you've added in on your last slide. But please, again, with something like that, open a support ticket, and we will look at that.
Yeah. Okay.
There's an example of a banner you've made.
Yeah, the great thing is if people could do, if you could just shoot a little video showing exactly what is happening, it just makes everything so much easier for us to have a look and see what's happening. Suzette is saying, what do you mean the overriding link? Is that the first place it goes to?
Yeah, so for example, with these banners, because they're all animated and you can add multiple calls to actions in them, so you can have, for example, you could have click here to buy going to one place. You could have this background going to another place. You could have a button over here going to another place. So in one banner, you can have actually 3 to 4 calls to actions that goes to all different locations.
Okay, cool. Jessica's asking, can you use fonts from your own computer?
No, not at the moment, but we've just uploaded a lot of new fonts, and they've kind of mixed up because we're all in alphabetical order, but we're loading them up. They've all messed up. Our development team's sorting that out, and we are going to allow users to be able to upload fonts. But the only thing we're wary of that is that people are uploading fonts that don't have the rights to. So we're going to look at we will be able to do something where you can add your own fonts in, but we need.
At the moment, Jessica, I think what the best thing is, what I've said to anybody who's asked this before, is that if you ask for it as an enhancement or an addition, we'll look at it. If we can get hold of the font easily and it fits perfectly, when we do the next batch, then we will add it in for you.
Have you got any more questions before I carry on?
I'm just going through these. That was quite a lot, so I'm just sorry to go. Isabel saying, how do you undo and save, please?
Undo. You can't. We don't have an undo feature at the moment. When you're saving, you need to publish the banner, because how HTML5 works, it's not like a normal graphics editor. It works with different elements. So, for example, when I'm going through these in a moment, I'll show you. So, because of the intricate nature of the elements, it's not actually a save as you go along. What our development team is adding in, this should be done in the next few days actually, is an auto save. So as you're working on it, it's going to save itself every minute or 2 minutes, whatever you put in the settings. We don't have an undo feature. We've got a delete feature for elements, but we don't have an undo feature at the moment.
Okay, and Suzette's saying, are these banners able to be used on the digital sites for ads, or strictly on websites and social media sites?
Yeah, we're going to be covering these. What I'm showing you here are the HTML5 graphic ones. Now, these can't be used on, for example, the Google Ad networks. But the premium templates, which we're going to be going through, they can be used on the Google Ad networks because they're all IAB compliant.
Yeah. Karen's saying, I was late coming in. I'm a new purchaser. Are these webinars saved? Yes, Karen, if you come into the resources area in the app. All the webinar replays will be shown there. Anthony says, does creating too many links in a banner slow down the banner?
No.
Okay. Okay. And Ron is saying both an undo feature as well as the ability to save the graphic for file future to use is important. Yeah, I think Richard just covered that. Okay, if you want to just carry on, Richard, and I'll keep batting away for you one-on-one with people, and I'll open up the floor again soon.
Okay, so when you add the text in, you can do whatever you want. You can move it around this little arrow, so you can position it, make it bigger, do kind of whatever you want on there. You can animate this, as I said, with this little wizard. You can get to come in from the left, ease in, scale, apply. So preview that. You can see what happens there. So that's text. Now we've got lots and lots of different elements here to go through. So we've got the buttons. These are all pre-made buttons. Now we do have other buttons are in our graphic section. I'll cover them in a moment. But these are all pre-made. You can more or less change them as you wish. We have lots and lots like 3D buttons. So for example, if you want to use this one, it gives like a nice clicking action when you put a click over it. You can make it bigger, we can make it smaller. You can change the color. We can add icons in there if we want. We can change the style of it. We can show and this little tick here shows it on all slides. So with when you put any elements onto the page, onto the banner, should I say? Sorry. What you need to do is you need to decide if you want to show those elements on every single slide. So, for example, if we create another slide here, what it does, it duplicates the slide that we've just created. But if we wanted to create a brand new slide, we just click this one like this, and it doesn't add the elements in. Now, if we wanted to, for example, come here and we wanted to show this button on every single slide, all we need to do is click this, and it'll show that element on every slide that you create, even if it's not into that. You don't need to add it into that slide, for example. Change the opacity of the banner, the button, sorry. Just get rid of that. Let me get rid of that a second so I'm not taking up all the canvas. So as I said, you've got lots of little different buttons there you can add in. You can change the style, do whatever you want. Again, you can add icons in there. But really well, you can remove icons as well if you wish, if you don't want that icon in there. Now on top of buttons, we've got video. Now to add video in, all you need to do is find the YouTube ID of the video, add that in there, and it'll play automatically. So what you can do here is, because you set your slides, for example, I've just added this video in here, and this video is 50 seconds. So what it does, it works it out. As you add it into this slide, it'll tell you exactly how long it is. But if you set your slide, for example, 10 seconds, it'll flick over to the next slide without playing the end of this video. So if you want it to play to the end before it flicks to the next slide, all you may do is make sure that you click wait till video ends before it actually clicks across. Again, you can change the opacity of it. You can link that video. You can do whatever you want with it. So you can almost make a video here, and you can put like call to actions in that. For example, you can have a button on the video, and the button will be clickable. You can add text on the video. You can have lots and lots of different things. Let's get rid of that. Again, you can animate that video as well. So shapes, you got a full shape creator. You've got rectangles, squares, circles. So for example, you could add a circle here, background color. Put this purple color. Oops. Oh dear. Shapes.
Quick question, Richard. Mark is saying, is there any chance you could use a spotlight cursor? It's hard to keep up with what you're doing with small, fast cursor movements.
I'm not sure I'll change this on the Mac.
Yeah, I think we could look at that for the next week for sure. Definitely, it's a good idea, Mark. Actually,
I think it's quite easy. Just 2 secs. I'll change that. Give me a second. I'll better change that when I find it. Mouse. Here we go. Oh, no, it's trackpad. Sorry, trackpad. Trackpad. Tracking speed slower.
Sorry, I don't know. Sorry.
Scrolls, more gestures. It's 2 seconds. Sorry, kids. I don't know how to change it. I'm not sure. I could do it on my main machine, but I can't do
Sorry,
it.
we'll look it up and we'll make sure it's done next week. Sorry, Mark. So we don't want to hold everything up too much this week. We'll just go through a few more questions. I've been answering quite a lot individually with people. It's great this week. Everyone's asking lots of questions. We love that. It does make it a lot easier for us guys to see what our issues are having. But there's a lot of people for me to handle on my own. So I've got a few for Richard now. It says, this is from VJ. He says, when pixel banners are embedded in a global authority website, would it be seen globally, or can we define the geographies and demographics? I couldn't quite understand what he was trying to get at there, so I've kind of left.
No, I'm sorry. I don't quite understand.
Sorry, VJ. If you can just elaborate a little bit on that as to exactly what you mean. I'm not too sure what you're actually trying to get at within that one. Paolo is saying, what about the sizes for social media that should look great on different devices, desktop, tablet, mobile? How to handle this? Again, I don't quite understand 100%
right.
What you get.
Yeah, I think what we're talking about is, for example, like banners. Now, with these, they are more freeform banners. Now, in our premium templates here, what we've done is we've created like set sizes for those. Obviously, you can change those sizes if you wish, but if you're using advertising banners on, for example, Facebook on a mobile device, we've got those set in there. But if you're wanting to use the same banner on a desktop device, it's going to be a totally different size. But our kind of software don't differentiate between those two. So what we're suggesting, if you're advertising to a mobile audience, you use the mobile banners, because that's what actually they're there for. Like, for example, with IAB, if you go into any of the big networks, any of the big like ad networks who use this type of software, they recommend you to use, for example, if you're advertising to a mobile network, you use the mobile banners. You don't try and kind of create one banner for everyone type of thing, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. Suzette says, do you or could you, if you don't, have the shadowing on the text to make them pop out, plus with a selected colour of our own choice? Again, I wasn't 100% sure what you were trying to achieve.
So you can change the shadow of the text. Yeah, you can change the shadow. You can make it like stand out if you wish. Yeah, if that's what you meant. Yeah.
Okay. Paolo says, can we control the font size so it will not distort the text when we expand the box that contains the text?
No, if you're wanting to not distort the text, I suggest using the actual size, because if you drag and drop in the text, then it will distort the size.
Okay, thanks, Richard. VJ is saying, can we modify the pixel sizes of the banner depending on specs of certain publishers?
Yeah, everything can be changed. It's, as Paul said, it's all freeform, so you can change the size to what you want. But these banners aren't really, these banners we're going through now aren't very good for publishers. The premium banners is where you want to use the IAB networks.
Okay, cool. Just for information, guys, the questions that I'm at now, because there's over 100 of you on the call, it's quite difficult for me to work through one at a time. We're actually answering questions that were posted 6 minutes ago at the moment, so we're almost catching up. So if you can just bear with us. Anthony says, for that banner pre-made button, which was obviously 6 minutes ago, can you change that green shadow colour? Everything's changeable, Anthony. In there, you just need to spend some time and be as creative as you want, really.
Yeah.
Liam is saying, with preset sizes, I see you have Facebook ads. Is that for website conversion or boost post? I don't believe they are the same size.
No, these are those for Facebook. They're actually for your headers and your. These are more to design Facebook sites, right?
Yeah, because the HTML banners aren't actually allowed on Facebook anyway. You'd have to bounce them down to a .png or a .jpeg and have it as a static banner. You couldn't have any of the interactive things working on Facebook. So Mark says, sorry, we answered that one. Anthony's saying, can you add GIF images inside the banners?
No, it's not possible.
Paolo says, can we use an embed code for a video or special code that will load a video with a special effect like overlays inside the banner?
I'm not quite sure what you mean there, sorry.
Right, I think, Paolo, what you need to look at there is the premium templates, because if you're taking a video from YouTube and you want to put that inside one of the banners, you can do it with the premium ones, and you can put you can still import a video into here as well. But I'm not quite sure what you're saying about the special effects like overlays within the banner. So if you could just elaborate on that a little bit. Dave is saying, if I had Pixel, would have automatically been upgraded. I've answered that privately for you, David. Yeah, Suzette, what I normally do, I try to do it every couple of weeks, is I go back through all the questions and answers, and then we put a sheet together and answer the questions again, and we'll put that out for people as well. I'll drop it in an email to everybody so you can see if you come on late, and you can actually see a text version of what the questions were and what the actual answer was to them. Kim is saying it might be more useful to show a really successful, attractive final product you or someone has been using than to show how you built it, why you did some elements. Yeah, that's something that will come further down the line, Kim. At the moment, we've got to just sort of help the people that want to get up and running with everything. So I understand fully what you're saying, and we'll do that. But it won't be on this one tonight, I'm afraid. VJ is then clarifying, saying what I meant was that when you overlay a banner on a global website, would it be displayed to the site's global audience, or can we target only the local audience of a particular global site? E.g., if we overlay a banner on bbc.com and we only want the audience in Singapore to see, how can this be done?
Right. I think you're kind of misunderstanding how the overlay works. Now, the overlay only works, and it does when you overlay a banner. It's just this works like kind of Sniply and Opener clicks it on software. So what that does, it overlays the link, but it doesn't overlay the site's audience. So, for example, if people are visiting bbc.co.uk or bbc.com, they won't see your banner. The audience that'll see your banner is only the people that you shared the link with. So you can obviously target that banner at just for people, say for North America, South America, Philippines, whatever. You can do that, but you're only kind of targeting your own audience. It's not the BBC audience.
Okay, I hope that answered that one for you. I've just been answering a few more. Okay, so Paolo's come back and said like Vidello videos. So that was what you were talking about, the embed code before, I think, Paolo.
You can embed I'm going to cover that in a second, but you can embed anything you want into Pixel at all. There's no restrictions on embeds, but we'll go through that in 2 seconds.
Yep. Mario is saying, can I make a logo and download it? Absolutely, no problem. Just be as creative as you want. We're pretty much caught up with the questions now, Richard. So you're going to carry on?
Okay, great. So with shapes, you can do whatever you want. So, for example, if you look at the preview, I'd move the shape to the left-hand corner. So if you look at the preview, it'll only show in the left-hand corner. So it only shows on the kind of canvas. So you can make these look really nice. You can also animate these as well. So, for example, let's pull this in from the top, fade it, and swing on it, apply. So a preview of that. Let's see how that faded in. Show you another one. So you can have multiple shapes to this as well. So if you could add a arrow if you want. Again, you can animate all these, change them as much as you want. So let's just get rid of this 2 seconds. So we've got the menu. Now the menu is really cool. Now what you can do with the menu is you can add multiple call to action to the menu. So not only can you have multiple call to action in your banner, but you can also have, for example, maybe 3 call to actions here. So this could be product 1, and that can be on a slider or a link. So if you put it to a link, that can go to, say, product 1 URL. This could go to product 2, and again, let's change that to a link. That goes to whatever link you want it to. And this could be product 3. Change that from a slider to a link, and again, that can go to product 3. You can add items, you can add multiple ones in there. You can animate this as well. So for example, if you wanted to, if you were doing Shopify, for example, you could have maybe 3 products on here. One could be, I don't know, a phone case, or there could be an iPad case, and you could have links to each one of those directly out. So you can showcase more than one product on your banner. And again, as I said, you can animate those. So let's show you how that looks. It looks pretty nice. Again, you can move these around. You can do whatever you want with them. So next one is embed. Now, embeds. I'm not going to show you too much of these, but I'm going to explain to you what they do. Now, embeds works with anything that you can embed. So, for example, Shopify buttons. So you can embed a live Shopify button here, and that live Shopify button can go directly to your cart page. You can also embed your live products from Shopify. I haven't got my Shopify site open at the moment, but maybe next week I'll show you how that works. So you can do in Shopify, you've got a setting where you can make the buy buttons live and embeddable. Once you've done that, it gives you a little bit of code, and what you can do is put that in here, and you can show the products live. So it's almost like a live catalog on your banners. And those can link directly to your cart rather than, to your actual site. You can put a live Skype button in here, so you can have a Skype conversation directly from your banner. You can add a live Google Maps. So if you are targeting, for example, let's say we're doing a banner for a local business, and that business you are selling, I don't know, fish tanks. What you could do is you can pinpoint on the map exactly where it is. So what you can do is it'll pick up the person's location, because what we also have here is a location setting, if you see this at the bottom. So for example, you could target this banner to anybody in the city of Washington in the USA, and the actual map you can pinpoint in Google Maps exactly where your shop is. So what it can do is, if the person for example, visiting from Washington, it'll show. You could put, like, for example, let me show you this here. You could put special offer for all people from. So you could do that. Then if you want to put an insert tag for location, you can put city. So you could say special offer from all people from Washington, if I was coming from Washington. And then what you can do is you can embed the Google map, and it'll show the direct location of the store that they're wanting to purchase from. So if you want selling fish tanks in Washington, you can drill down to the exact street address where that is, and that's all done through the embed code. You can embed sounds in there. You can embed audio in there. You can embed videos. Somebody was just talking about the Vidello, and they give you an embed code. You can embed that in there. You can embed anything you want into these banners, which really is quite powerful when you think about it. Now, in later weeks, we're going to show you some of the uses that we use this for, and obviously how we make money with these. Now, again, you can animate all these sections. So you can use this section to animate anything you want. Let's just cross it off a sec. So,
got a couple of people asking to see, could we see finished banners? I mean, I could actually, if you wanted, I could actually just show a couple so people can actually see them in action. If you wanted to, I could do it next week. It's entirely up to you.
well, I mean, there's tons of finished banners in the template section, but I mean, I don't have access to my banners at the moment because, as I said, I'm on my laptop. I'm not on my main machine, so I can't really grab anything that I have.
I think what we'll do next week, Kim, and then obviously it'll go into the replays anyways. I'll prepare a couple of banners that we've used and show you some live examples, and then also we'll show you a couple of other ones that are set up ready in the templates for you. So you'll see some of the real banners that are working next week.
So,
yes,
sorry.
People ask. Okay.
Oh, sorry, go on. So you can add, as I said, multiple slides, and you can have many slides you want. And you can set all this, the length, the sections, whatever you want here. You can delete the sides, times. You can upload images. So let's show you how that's done. So if you click upload image, you've got a full photo editor in here. So now I'm going to try and show you this, but I'm not on my main machine, as I said. So let me try and get one. Something I can edit. I'll do this. So it pulls in the image. Now you can do lots and lots to the image before you actually add it into Pixel. So you can flip it round. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can add filters to it. So you've got lots and lots of different filters. So that's original, Brannan, 1977, cross process. I don't know, not quite sure what that one is. Pinhole, glowing sun. So once you've decided on the filter that you want or exactly how you want the image, all you need to do is click this little rocket here in the side. And what it'll do is it'll add it directly into the banner. So that's how to upload an image. Now we've got a full image gallery. Now we've got lots and lots of images in here. You also got your personal files. When you upload images, they store there. We've got graphics. Now we've got tons and tons of different graphics that you can add in. As you can see, lots and lots of different categories. So for example, these are blue buttons. Now I was talking previously about the pre-made buttons. Now these are also buttons which you can change. So we've also got, let's have a look. Oh, sorry, they're border graphics. I'm trying to find buttons.
I just want to point something out as well, Richard. This week, this is actually Paul O'Keefe speaking, and if I've been responding to anyone in the live chat, it's probably saying Chris Jenkins, but it's because we've used Chris's GoToWebinar account, and I've logged in as Chris Jenkins tonight. So sorry if that's confused anyone, because a couple of people are saying Chris, and it's actually Paul here. It's not Chris, it's Paul and Richard that are on the call. So I'm sorry for any confusion that I've given you there. Next week, we'll try and make sure we log in as ourselves. So that's my fault. Sorry about that.
So you've got tons and tons of graphics. So you've got graphics, but you also got stock photos as well. So with a graphic, just find out which one you want. If you want to use, for example, this speech bubble, click on it. You can edit it through the photo editor I've just showed you. If you don't want to edit it, you want to insert it as it is, just click insert. And there you go. You can make that bigger, smaller, whatever you want to do with it. Again, you can animate that as well, just exactly same as you can anything else. So that's a real quick overview of the flat graphics. Now, once you're ready to do it, forget this publisher's template because this is for an admins. What you need to do is click publish. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how this next step works because a couple of people have been confused with this. So once you've created your banner and you're ready to use it, all you need to do is click publish. You give it a title. So for example, this is my test from Richards. Hit save. You'll see it's publishing. Now once it's published, give it a couple of seconds. You need to come into here to all graphics. And you can see here it's published with, it's called unassociated banners. Now, there's a couple of things you can do here. Now, if you wanted to use that banner just as a JPEG ping, it'll download the first slide. So if like somebody just asked about creating a logo. Now, if you're going to create a logo, you obviously won't create multiple slides. You just create one slide, and that's what you'd use for your logo or your JPG, whichever you wish. Now, when you create these banners, you can also download them as GIFs, and you can also download them in MP4s, movies. So obviously they don't have things like sound on there. It's just really an MP4 example of the banner. Now, we are looking at adding sound, kind of almost like a soundtrack to these, so you can almost make Pixel Evolution a video editor as well. Then you can also download these as a HTML5 slides, which obviously this is what all this software is about. So when you download that, you'll download all the elements, you download the index page, you'll download all the scripts that you need to add in your site. So this is not for embedding, this is for you to download and use on your own sites. So now if you want to embed it, all you need to do is, you'll see this little thing at the right hand side, it says create campaign. You just click on there. And if I wanted to embed this banner, what I do is create a campaign for it. So I'll call it Tests Richards. I create campaign. So let's go to where that's been added, which is here. So it's added this banner inside. You can see the banner here. Now at the moment it's not active, and it's not active till I click the little slider there. Now this banner's active. Now once you've done that and click the slider, you saw these little 3 links drop down here. Now these 3 different links do 3 different things. Now you've got embed code. Now this embed codes works on any site that you can embed anything into. So if you're using just a normal HTML site or anything you can embed into, what you do is take this code, this iframe code, and add it in. Now obviously if you're using the WordPress plugin, I would suggest using the WordPress plugin to embed rather than copying this code, because it's just a lot easier to use. You've got the embed overlay. So what this does, it makes any banner that you make into a pop-up. And I'll just, if I remember one of the questions from earlier, somebody was asking about pop-ups. So what you can do with this is you can create an amazing banner and you can turn it into a pop-up. So for example, you can pop it up on the top of the page, center of the page, bottom of the page, when to activate, on page load, on delay, on exit intent. So on delay, so if you click on delay, you could say, don't show the banner for 5 seconds. So you could wait 5 seconds until the person is on the site. Then once 5 seconds is up, the banner will pop up. And again, all you need to do is take this script and add it to the header of your site. Now the next section, which is a brand new section for Pixel Evolution, is the link overlay. So for example, I'm going to show you how that works. So link overlay, all you do is click on it. You pick up the site that you want to overlay on. So let's get a site. We were just talking about fish tanks. Let's talk on the fish tank sites. Pets at home. See if it overlays on this. Just open the site. Right, so for example, if you were selling fish tanks and you wanted to overlay your advertisement on Pets at Home, you get the URL. Come back to Pixel, you paste it in there. Now there's 2 things I want to tell you about before I show you how this works. Is we don't overlay every single site. There's about 5% of sites that we can't overlay. Now the reason for this is you can't overlay sites like, for example, PayPal, Facebook, and lots of things like that, because they use what we call ActiveX, and what it does, it breaks it out of the overlay system. Now we could write obviously code to, break that again to make sure we could overlay it, but what we want to do, and we want you users of Pixel, to stay within the terms of service of any site. We want to make sure this site is completely white hat. We don't do anything black hat. That's not the way we would market online. So if a site is using ActiveX, we won't overlay it. I'm pretty sure Pets at Home won't be, but you never know. So Pets at Home, so position the banner wherever you want. So we could left top, center top, wherever. When to activate, on load, hit save. Now you'll see it's loading. Now if it doesn't overlay, you see there, it says here this site does not allow iframe linking. So I'm quite surprised at that, but pets at home must have some kind of iframe breaking in, so let's find another one. Try this one. Rock Aquatics.
Michael's quickly jumped in with the question saying, does that mean it's using ActiveX?
It means they're using an iframe breaking code. So what that means is, in their terms of service, they've kind of said that they don't want us to, or any kind of app like this, to overlay. And that we, like I said, there is ways to overbreak that, but we want to stay within terms of service. So we've just done one here. You see, it throws the link down at the bottom, which means they're not using any kind of ActiveX. So we're quite within the terms of service of this site and whatever to be able to overlay it. So, for example, you see the banner. I know it's nothing particularly good, but you see the banner that's created there. It's overlaid on this site. You can see. So what you could do is, if you were overlaying this site, you'd be selling some kind of fish product or whatever. You were selling fish tanks or something. I mean, obviously, for obvious reasons, with this ActiveX, the reason we don't break the terms of service, because, for example, you could kind of almost fake PayPal or whatever. There's lots of ways it could be used for, which we wouldn't want, as users to be able to do, or we wouldn't want to do it. So that's the link overlay. Also, on this section here, which we're going to cover more in depth on another webinar, but we've got analytics. Now, on this analytics section, we've got things like banner hotspots, devices. So what you can do is you can see where and how the banners are being clicked. So, for example, you could see that a certain banner works best in Asia, and they're clicking on a certain section. So what you could do is you could serve more banners to Asia that look like the one that you're obviously getting the most clicks on. So it works exactly like a hotspot. If anybody's used a hotspot software, lots and lots out there. So what you can do is you can see where people click on each site, and this works exactly the same way. So what we can do is we can see exactly where people are clicking on the banners, obviously to improve them or to serve them better to certain countries. You'll see here it gives you your top 10 countries, and so you get impressions, your clicks, click-through ratio, impressions by device type. Then you also get slides sorted by clicks. So obviously, if one slide is much more popular than others, that's working better, so you can kind of enhance it or enhance the other ones. So you can download.
Sorry, Richard. Just jump back because I've got a lot of questions when you were talking about the overlays. I've been trying to answer as many as I can individually with people. I'm sort of getting a bit beaten up here now at the moment. Okay, we'll just go back there. Paolo asked a while ago, can I reuse a saved banner for other purpose since we cannot create our own templates?
Yeah. So, for example, this banner here I've just created, I know it's not anything, I'm just showing you. So if you want to use this banner again for another one, all you do is hit clone, and that banner's been cloned. So then you can come back in and start using it again.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so VJ's asking, how can I change the language of the banners to non-English language, e.g. French, Spanish, Mandarin, etc.? Can I incorporate a PDF file, for instance, to replace the English text?
Do you actually mean on? I'm not. Do you mean these sections, the actual menu sections, or because you can change any?
Sorry, I don't know that. The ones I'm asking you now, Richard, the ones that I couldn't actually answer on the fly. So these ones are the ones that I was sort of.
Okay, if you're talking about the actual UI with this, that can't be changed. If you're talking about the actual text, sorry, let's select a slider. So if you're talking about the actual text, you can change that to I don't know any French, you can just type in French there and it will come, whatever you're talking there, you can change it to.
Yeah, I'm just wondering whether he's talking about using Chinese script, which obviously that won't be available in there.
No, I've just been talking to somebody yesterday. They wanted Hebrew in there. Now, I've spoken to our development team, and they are adding a lot more different scripts in there. So they are coming, but it will be over the next week or two.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. The next question that I didn't get round to answering was, Omar asked, how can I close the pop-up when we do an embed overlay?
How can you close the pop-up?
I didn't quite understand what you were trying to say there, Omar.
No, I'm not quite sure. Sorry, you have to.
Okay, if you could just sort of elaborate on that one, Omar, please. I couldn't quite understand it when I was flying through the questions before. Thomas asked, does the banner work for non-WordPress sites?
Yeah, it'll work any way you can embed it. Anyway, as long as there's HTML there that you can embed into, it'll work any way you want.
Sorry. So Paolo said, I don't understand how overlaying something that isn't from the original site is considered white hat. What happens if the original site finds out that we are overlaying our stuff on their site? I just want to be sure before I start talking about this feature to potential customers. Just goes back to what Richard just spoke about, Paolo. At the end of the day, if the site isn't wanting somebody to do the overlays, they will have it enabled to stop it. And what Richard was saying before is we could have coded this to break out of that anyway and overlay it and be black hat. But what we've done is we've respected their terms and service. That's why you will see on about 5% of sites, you cannot do the overlay. And that is the reason that sometimes pops up. It's just that we're respecting the original site's wishes.
And also, just to elaborate a little bit more on that, we've got a program called Clixit that was developed in 2015. We've got 11,000 users, and we've created, probably nearly a million probably more than a million overlays, and never once has there been any kind of legal problem, anything from the site itself, because you're not actually overlaying the site itself. You're overlaying kind of an iframe, so it's totally not a problem at all.
Yeah, you kind of you're overlaying like a snapshot of the screen, basically, in a way, but it's a live snapshot.
Yeah, and if you go to sites like Snipply and Opener, some of the biggest companies in the world use those two services.
And it's the same technology that we've used. So Howie's saying, can you pretty up the overlay link? Do you mean the actual domain that's in there? Howie, is that what you're talking about? Can you sort of like add in your own domain?
Yeah, a few people have asked me about that. Now, like with Clixit, what we can do is we can overshadow the kind of the link from Clixit with somebody else's domain. Now, we are going to do that, but it's taken a little bit, because this is not the exact same technology as Clixit. We are adding in custom domains, so you will be able to, for example, if you've got a site called fishtanks.com, you can add fishtanks.com on there, so it will overlay the Pixel link. So when you share it on Facebook, it will show fishtanks.com rather than Pixel. But that's coming again next. That's going to be towards the end of August, actually. It's proving a little bit more difficult than we thought.
Okay, so Michael says, if someone comes to that site, it will show the overlay, or do they need to be viewing the site through your site? How is it possible if you're not adding code to their site? What you're actually doing, you need to share a link to people, Michael, so that link actually takes a snapshot of their site and then overlays it. So it has to come from you personally. So whether you share it on Twitter, whether you share it in Facebook, whether you share it in an email to somebody, you have to provide the link to them to go and to click. As soon as they click it, they will think they're going to the BBC or wherever you've overlaid, and then after 5-10 seconds, your banners will pop up on that site. That's how it works, basically.
I mean, Paul made a good point in a webinar we were talking on last week. For example, if you go onto Facebook, you see a lot of viral content being shared, because when a viral content, everybody shares it. It's quite funny or quite informative. People share it and share it and share it. Now, what Paul said was, obviously, you take that link that people sharing, obviously, because it is viral, people do like it, so they are sharing it. What you do is take that link, you overlay it with your overlay. That could be, a CPA offer. It could be an offer that relates to this content that it's sharing. It could be
lead generation capture. You could use one of the autoresponder to get somebody's email that pops up after 10 seconds. But yeah,
And then what you do is obviously then you share that link again because it is viral content. People carry on sharing it as well. So you're getting lots and lots of viral traffic.
Yeah.
And I actually forgot about this, so I better just mention it as well. Coming back to the embeds, you just talked about catching emails, and it's one thing I did forget to mention. In here, like you can add embed code for such as autoresponders, like get response. You can add the get response script in here. And what it will do, it will add the get response form on here, so you can actually collect people's email directly from your banner as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention that, so I just thought about it.
No problem. We'll just go through the questions again. So Arthur is saying, I hope this is not a stupid question. When you put a banner on another site, does that mean everyone goes to the original site will see it? That's basically what I've just said a few moments ago, Arthur. They have to be viewing it through your link, the one you provided via email or Twitter or Facebook or wherever you've done it through social media or wherever. Then they will see it. Not that people go into the original site. No, that's not going to happen. 2 seconds. So it's saying, so the text I'm understanding, if I'm understanding you correctly, the banner will auto-translate. We have to create the banner in that particular language. Is that right?
Yes, you'd have to put your own language in there. You couldn't do it. It's not possible from inside the app.
Yep. Omar has come back to us regarding his embed overlay question. Can users click an X or close button to close the pop-up window so they can continue navigating on the site?
Yes, they can, yeah.
Yep. Isabel is saying, can you put an overlay on YouTube videos too?
Now, that's a good question. I'm not sure if YouTube actually... on top of the videos itself. You can, for example, if it hasn't got ActiveX on, yeah. I'll just check that out, 2 seconds.
Shyam's made a good point here, saying that new sites, etc., do not object to overlays because they get a distribution by default, which is very true. They have no issues with it whatsoever.
Let's try that.
I'm just going to say, guys, as well, because I know Richard will be needing to get off pretty soon. We normally do.
Just want to shoot this quick.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, mate. Go back.
Sorry, I know that we normally run webinars for an hour. It's run an hour and 20. So any of the questions that we don't get through, because there's still a lot. Like I said, there's over 100 people on here tonight, so it's been quite difficult to fight through them all. But any that we don't get to on the video, on the webinar tonight, we will carry them over to next week's, and we'll start answering them at the beginning of it. So please don't think that if I haven't answered your question live, it isn't that we're not going to answer it. It will be answered, but I'm just trying to pick through the ones that I think have been quite relevant and easier to answer first.
It won't actually overlay on the direct YouTube link because YouTube uses HTTPS. Now, it doesn't mean that any HTTPS you can't overlay, but YouTube are using some kind of, like say, the iframe breaking code, so it's not possible to overlay directly on there. Just thought I'd test it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Michael says, can you use the links on Facebook or would it violate their terms? You can't use the overlays on Facebook. They won't allow it.
You can use the actual link, the link to share on Facebook. You can't overlay Facebook. So for example, I just created that aquatic one. I could share that link on Facebook. That's not against Facebook's terms of service, but I can't overlay Facebook because it won't.
Yeah. Paolo's saying, what about an autoresponder on the list? Is there a way to possibly get them to work too?
Sorry, say again, Paul.
He said, what about an autoresponder on the list? Is there a way to possibly get them to work too?
Autoresponders work within the embed feature. You can embed autoresponders directly in there.
Okay. Omar is saying, can you personalize a video or pull visitor information from Facebook or Google profiles?
No.
Ron is saying it's got to go. When will the replay be in the back office. That hopefully all being well, we'll have that up and loaded tomorrow, Ron. Usually takes about 24 hours for us to get that in there. How are we saying, will you be providing training on monetization methods? Absolutely. Further down the line, that will be part of these weekly webinars. It's something that, at the moment, I think what we've got to do is just to really help the people get up and running. That's something that we'll look at further down the line. Kevin's saying, can you keep a flat banner displayed after it's gone through the play sequence?
Yeah, it'll still display. If you want to keep it displaying over and over again, just click loop and it'll loop over and over and over again. If you don't click loop, it'll just finish on the last slide and stick on the last slide.
Sorry, Paolo, my fault. What I said before. You were saying, can you add an autoresponder that's not on the list? Sorry, you did put on the list, but it was actually, you meant not on the list. What you can do with the autoresponders, you can actually use any autoresponder as long as they have the option to give you the form embed code. So you just go and grab the form embed. As long as you can embed it, whereas you would embed onto a normal site, you can embed it into the banner. It will work. We've tried lots and lots of different ones.
Yeah.
Ismail is just asked a quick question. I mean, I don't know how long you've got, Richard.
Yeah, I'm all right for 15 minutes. That's fine, yeah.
Excellent, superb. We'll carry going a bit later with this one because I'm okay as well. I'm pretty much free tonight, so I can keep going with this. Ismail is saying, how do I change the background colour? I'm sorry, I couldn't keep up when you were showing it before. Okay. Can you just quickly show background colour again, please, Rich? So
if you go to edit, so I've just clicked on that banner, I can edit again. So if you want to come on this slide. So we come to Canvas properties. You can see here on the background settings, if you open that, you've got multiple sections for the background. You can have transparent. You've got a solid colour, then you choose the colour whatever you want. You've got gradients that you can set. You've got these triangles, these Google triangle sections, which are totally editable. I'm going to change these to fit whatever you wish. And then you can add an image by uploading it and just applying it. That covers all the background settings.
Excellent. Anthony's raised a good point here. He says, for overlays, it would be good to pick up an image from the site when sharing on social media. For example, when I share a link on Google+, it automatically picks up the image that can be used on the post. It looks like when I use the overlay, it doesn't pick up any images from the source website. It's something not easy to do, but we could look at it.
Yeah, well, our software Clicks actually does that. But because Clicks and Pixel have been kind of merged together, couple of the features aren't quite in there yet. Everything that's in Clicks is actually coming across into Pixel. So again, with the domains, the images you just mentioned, all those are going to be coming across. So this will be a fully functioning overlay system, just like Clicks is, within probably about 4 weeks.
Okay, great. So, Paolo's saying, how to manage hundreds or even thousands of campaigns, not sure if a banner equals a campaign for multiple users. Is there a way to group them hierarchically?
No, at the moment we don't, because, for example, when we come to our graphics, set by, for example, this one I just added here, it's got one banner. Now you can add multiple banners in here. You don't have to have just one banner. You can have 50 banners if you want here. And as you can
I just point out, though, one thing that people are adding banners in there, they have to make sure it's the same banner.
Oh, yeah.
You can't have a billboard and a folder in the same campaign. That will cause you a problem. It has to be the same type of banner that's in any campaign.
Yeah, if you see these here where I've created, for example, this says billboard on the side, these all refer to premium banners. You can see the one I've just created, this Tess Richards. This has got no name next to it. That means it's a flat banner. So these are premium banners. They're flat banners when they've got no name next to it. So, for example, I can add multiple flat banners into here. I can even add different sizes. It won't matter. But if this was this billboard one, I couldn't, for example, add a foldable banner in then and another banner, like an anchor banner, because it just wouldn't work. But in the flat banners, I can add multiple different ones.
Okay, I think, to be honest, Richard, we've caught up with just about all of the questions. Got another one coming in from Paolo. Can we at least search for a particular banner from this huge list? Are you talking about your own campaigns now? I assume, Paolo. I think that's what you're talking about. If you've got hundreds of thousands of campaigns, is what you said before. Can we at least search for a particular banner from this huge list? So you're asking if we can have a search.
Yeah. That's one thing, because when we first started this app, there weren't as many templates in this section. So, for example, if we come to here, you can see we've got so many different banners now. We've actually done them by tags, but some of these have over 300 in. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a search section where you can actually search by a tag and size and real estate. For example, it's called real estate, etc. So you better put real estate 600s in, and it'll bring all banners up that relate to those tags, relate to those search terms.
He's saying he's talking about the banners he has created and not the templates.
Oh, right. Sorry. I don't know if that's actually possible, because...
Yeah, because the names in there, it'd be very difficult to search on that. But I think we could probably look at and speak to the devs about doing a search on the campaigns, I would have thought.
Because if you'd see...
I don't know.
It'd be a bit hard, because each campaign could be named differently, so it's I'll ask, but I don't know if it'll be possible, but I will ask. Yeah.
Okay, so now Paolo's saying maybe a regular search on the page will actually do it. Okay, leave it with us, Paolo. We'll have a think about that, because I wasn't actually thinking that people would have 1,000 campaigns in here. But if you're planning on doing that, I can understand what the pain would be. So leave that with us, and let us have a think, and we'll speak to the dev teams about that.
You could maybe do it via tags. That may be easier. You could tag them. Well,
Jerry's saying audio isn't all that good. It's very difficult to follow along. Is there any written instructions on how to best utilize Pixel? So we can just apologise about that. I mean, we use GoToWebinar, and sometimes they're not the best in the world, but unfortunately, it's the only platform that we can actually use at the moment to put these out there.
Yeah, it's probably the best platform out there at the moment, but it is very, very buggy, and there's not a really lot we can do about that. At the moment as well, my audio might not be too great, because I'm having to use my laptop. I'm in the process of moving offices. I'm not moved back into my main office yet, so I don't have my main mic, my main machine, and everything. But next week I will actually have those. So
something we could look at, Jerry. I mean, after a while, we could look at making written instructions. But to be honest, if you have got the time and you go into the resources area, we have got a special guy who just does the tutorials, and they are very, very, very good. I mean, if you go in there, there's 20, 30 videos in there now, just doing each little element of Pixel. He goes through it, and it takes you through step by step, and he's very clear and he's very thorough in what he does. And we are bringing more and more in every day and every week. He's employed full time now to actually just keep doing more and more tutorials. So if you keep an eye out in that area, and I would suggest everybody goes through every tutorial before you even try to start to use Pixel. If you try and use it without going through that, then you're going to come across lots of difficulties. If you follow the tutorials first, then I think you'll find it's pretty much a breeze to work through the app. Anthony's saying audio's fine on his end. Michael, what would be the best place to start for training in the dashboard area? As I've just said, Michael, just go and personally just go into the actual resources area. You'll see lots and lots of tutorials in there, and they aren't really long. They're only 2-3 minutes of them. Some are 5-10 minutes, but just work through them all from top to bottom, I would say, personally. Or if there's something that you've looked at and you really want to drill down into that particular type of banner or that, I know that Alex, the guy who does them, he did different tutorial for each of the premium banners, didn't he, Rich? So there's a special one for each type of banner. So if you see a type of banner that you like, just go and watch a tutorial for that, and it will explain how to build it and how to use it. Paolo's saying, are we going to have the client section covered, or where can I find some info about this?
Yeah, we are covering client section, but as I said, I mean, Pixel's such a large app. There's no way we can cover it in one webinar. Just won't be possible. So this webinar really is just an overlay webinar. Now, we haven't really even got to the premium templates or anything like that. So, probably the next webinar, it may even still be an overlay webinar next week because we'll need to overview, on the premium and the client section. Then what we're going to start doing is we're going to start going in depth into each section now to monetize it and how to use it, to the best, get them best out of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, sorry, VJ, I really don't understand what you're saying here. You said, would there be any additions to the existing font pack? We covered that earlier. Again, to repeat my earlier question, can a PDF file be pasted onto the Pixel system to depict a particular language or font? Could the PDF be used as an image to be added onto the banner?
You can embed a PDF as long as a PDF's embeddable. You can embed it into the banner. I'm not quite sure what you mean about languages. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really understand that. Isabel is saying if you have ActiveX or something to prevent iframing on our site, then we can still overlay with Pixel on our site.
No, if ActiveX is active on the site, then it's not possible to overlay that. What that does, it's an iframe breaking code. So when that's in place, our app will show up that warning sign that says this site doesn't want to be overlaid, so we don't allow Pixel to overlay it because then we're breaking terms of service. But as I said, that's probably about 5% of sites at most.
Okay. Jean says, the audio sounds great here. Thanks. This training is awesome. Thanks for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it. Thanks, Jean. We do this every week, Jean. And like I said before, from the mails we sent out, these are just to give back information for you guys and to help people get the best from the product. And not just from Pixel, we do cover other things as well. If people are asking questions to do with anything, email marketing, internet marketing, we do cover a lot of things. But over the next few weeks, we will be basically looking more to get people up and running with Pixel Evolution more than anything else. Suzette is saying, did I miss it? What's the difference between the anchor and foldable? I remember him saying Billboard was having you, it was a premium banner.
We haven't actually covered the premium banners yet. I mean, I can quickly run through them, but it will be very, very quick run through of them.
I think for that, Suzette, I mean, I'm quite happy to cover the premium ones next week. I mean, well, probably the week after. It's up to you, Rich. But we'll do a whole webinar just on the premium banners, and we'll go through each one, and we'll give you examples of live examples, and how I'll build one live on the call because I can do them quite quickly. It'll literally take me 5-10 minutes maximum to actually build a banner from scratch and put it out there for you. So we'll do a whole webinar on that, and it'll be much easier than trying to just gloss over it. What I would recommend, Suzette, is quickly going into the tutorials, having a look at the videos that Alex did, because he's done one for each of the premium banners. So there is one in there for each of those. So if you go and look and watch the quick 2-minute video of the foldable, you'll see exactly what it is.
Yeah. And all the tutorials that can be found on the resources there. You go there, you can see everything down there. All the newer ones here at the bottom. So you've got the overlays, how to manage clients. You've got carousel banners, scratch banners, rollover banners, anchor banners, expandable, floating, film strip, billboard, foldable. Then it goes into downloads and everything else there. And you've got lots of other stuff. You've got those previous webinars in there. You've also got at the top here, these are just some small videos and PDFs one of my graphics guys did to kind of help a little bit with different sections of Pixel. We're also going to be adding some more in here. Now, there's no sound on these. They are just quickly showing you what to do.
Okay, Suzette's saying that she's had problems with the audio. It got lost and she had to reconnect. Basically, Suzette, the replay will have all the audio on this if you want to watch this video. Watch the webinar back. But what we've just been saying was we recommend, if you want to see what the different types of banners are, just to go into the tutorials where Richard was there. And there is a 2-3 minute video on each banner, and it just goes through it and describes it. So it's the first place to start, really. Chuck's saying, it's been informative webinar. I've really learned a lot. I'm really looking forward to future ones. As usual, you guys are great. Thanks, Chuck. We appreciate it when you guys come on here as well and ask the questions. What does the green circles with green numbers and orange mean on the side of the campaign names? Is what Paolo is asking.
So, for example, this one here, Test Rich, is where I've just created. You can see it says a little number 1 and it's green. So what it means, it's got one active banner in there. So if you come to this one, test 23, if I click on test 23, you can see it's got two banners in. That's what the yellow one is, but they've never been activated. So if I change this to 1, you'll see it changes to 1 active, 1 not active. So I'll change that to active, it changes to active, both of them. And if I turn them back off again, it should go back to yellow. So
So sorry.
So I'm just going to say it just shows you the exact number of banners in that campaign, whether they're active or not.
Cool. Excellent. So VJ's saying, because the Pixel fonts only seem to support English fonts, my question is, if you want to create banners in different languages, how do we do that? That's what Richard said before, VJ, where we're speaking to the developers, and we are going to be bringing in different scripts. So like the Hebrew script, or for example, you get Thai script or Chinese script. If that's what you're talking about, you're saying that the fonts are only supporting the English fonts, then they are going to be introduced, but it's just going to be over the next few weeks. It won't be like done overnight. And I hope that's what you're actually trying to get at. David Webb saying, thanks for the intros. Looking forward to ongoing messages, ongoing meetings. Okay, cheers, David. When will the recordings of the webinar be available? Ask VJ. We usually get them in within 24 hours. At the most, it will be 48 hours, but I'd like to think we'd have it in within 24. Again, VJ. Hi. Okay, Imguru is saying, hi. When do you open the preferred partner program again? On the page it says 27th of July, so I might have missed it in March. I'm sure that I bought it, but I can't find any purchase information details. Okay, Imguru, it's going to be actually, the preferred partners program's up and running now. You can promote Social Hub with that. It's no problem at all, but the Pixel Evolution stuff will be available in 2 days from now at the weekend. So, I mean, I'd probably say to try it on Monday, actually. To be safer, I think.
Yeah.
But you're saying you can't find your purchase information details. Just
it's about,
if you can remember, if you go to the support desk in Google and just obviously your name and your email, we'll be able to find out your information for you. VJ says thanks. You've answered my question. Okay, great stuff, VJ. And you will get there eventually. Just a couple of questions left now. I think we'll call it a day after that, Rich, because we have done half an hour extra. Terry's saying, I appreciate the training. So many don't do much after sale. I'm happy to see you seem to care. Thanks again. That's great, Terry. But we do need you guys as well. It's not just me and Rich. But we want feedback because we use Pixel ourselves and we want it to be the best possible. So I think we're all going to have to work together. So you guys asking questions helps us. And, we're happy to come on every week and do what we can to make this the best software possible. Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of version 1 users have seen how we've enhanced this program over the last year, and we're going to do the exact same now. We've got so many enhancements, so extra features we're going to be adding over the next 6 months to a year. It's going to be it's an amazing program at the moment, but you'll be pretty blown away by what's coming.
Yeah, that's a good thing to point out, actually, what Richard's saying there. What you probably don't actually realise is that what you bought into here is something that most people pay for a monthly subscription to this. So what we do is we use that money and we continually enhance it. So any of you guys have just joined and got in a special offer that we just allowed the last few days, you've actually got a total bargain there, because you're going to constantly get a year's worth of updates that have been put into the program. It's just going to get better and better and better over the next year. So it's exciting times for Pixel anyway. That's it for the questions. I think we've caught up. So if that's okay with everybody, I'd like to sort of pull this week's to an end.
Can I just quickly say something before we close off? So next week, what we're going to do is we're going to carry on with an overview of the system. We'll probably do the premium ones. Paul said he's going to do a good in-depth look at those. I'm going to do an overview of clients and all that kind of stuff. And then after that, we'll start working on the higher level, how we use Pixel, how to monetize Pixel, how to get the best from it, etc. So, bear with us as we go over these overviews. If you this might be quite basic to a lot of people, but as we go on week by week, it's going to get more kind of in depth and more enhanced. Okay, that's it.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, and hope to see you all again next week. Thanks so much for coming along.
All right, thank you very much. Bye.
Now.
Bye.